Dr. Ken was one of the best surgeons in the city. He was known for his steady hands, kind heart, and the way he could calm even the most nervous patients. Every morning, he would walk into the hospital with a smile, say hello to the nurses, and wash his hands like it was a ritual of respect. He wasn't just skilled, he loved his job. Saving lives gave him purpose. But one rainy night, everything changed. Ken was driving home after a long surgery when a truck lost control. In the crash, he survived, but his hands didn't. The bones were shattered beyond repair. When he woke up in the hospital, he looked down at the bandages and whispered, "My hands?" The nurse nodded silently. He closed his eyes, and for the first time in years, Ken cried. His career was over, or so he thought. Ken spent weeks in rehab, watching others walk in and out of the surgical rooms, the very rooms where he used to lead. He felt lost, broken, not just physically, but emotionally. One day, Dr. Leon, the hospital's head of innovation, visited him. She smiled gently and said, "Ken, your hands may not work anymore, but your mind does. And we've just received something new I think you should see." She took him to a lab where a sleek, spider-like machine sat in the center. "This is the Sin-Surgi system," she explained. "An AI-assisted robotic surgery tool. It can be controlled by voice and by thought." Ken raised an eyebrow. "By thought?" Dr. Leon placed a soft headband on his head. "This band reads your brain's electrical signals and translates them into movements. With training, you can operate again, without lifting a finger." Ken stared at the machine. It felt unreal, impossible, but deep down, a flicker of hope returned. For the next several months, Ken trained tirelessly. It wasn't easy. He had to relearn how to visualize every movement in his mind. He practiced on virtual models, fake organs, even fruit, guiding the robotic arms with incredible precision just by focusing his thoughts. At first, he failed. The robot dropped tools, made clumsy incisions, but slowly, day by day, he got better. Until one morning, he completed a perfect simulation surgery. The lab erupted in applause, but Ken just smiled quietly. He wasn't back to being a surgeon. He was something more. Months later, a 9-year-old girl named Amira was rushed into the ER. She had a rare tumor dangerously close to her heart. The surgeons were unsure if they could operate safely. That's when Dr. Leon stepped in. "I know someone who can." Ken stood in the surgical bay, wearing his old scrubs. The robotic arms glowed softly behind him. Amira's parents looked worried, but Ken knelt beside them. "I may not look like the doctors you're used to," he said gently, "but I promise, I can help your daughter." With a nod of trust, they agreed. The room fell silent. Nurses watched in awe as Ken, wearing only a headband, began the operation. Every move was guided by his mind, precise, steady, calm. After hours of focused effort, he completed the procedure. The tumor was removed, and Amira was safe. When she woke up, Ken sat by her bedside. "Did you fix me?" she asked. Ken chuckled. "I had some help. But yes, you're going to be just fine." News spread quickly. A surgeon with no hands, saving lives through the power of AI. Students, doctors, and patients from all over came to learn from Ken. He began mentoring young people with disabilities, showing them that limitations could become strengths with the right mindset and the right tools. Dr. Ken's story reminds us of something powerful. Our value isn't just in what we can do, but in what we choose to do when life changes. AI didn't replace Dr. Ken. It empowered him. Because when human spirit and technology work together, there are no limits. And if this story inspired you, helped you see the future in a new way, let us know. Leave a comment, share this with someone who needs hope, and don't forget to like this video, subscribe to this channel, and turn on your notification bell so you never miss stories like this one. More is coming. and you won't want to miss it.
Go down. We'll see.